So my wife came downstairs just as I took a bite out of the remaining half-red onion on the counter, literally within seconds of just getting away with it. I looked at her, and she looked at me, and we both sat there a moment, all frozen, before she said, "Babs, what the F?" I tried to say, "I can explain," but it came out as, "or corn explorin'," because such was the onion in my mouth that there was no room for words. It's honestly a miracle that she understood me at all. At least, I'm assuming that she understood me because she did let me get my bearings for a few moments. The smarter man would have used that time to think up a good lie, but instead I just chewed as fast as I could because I knew I was going to have to tell a whopper, and I really wanted to be able to use big words again. Big words are instrumental to telling a whopper. Anyway, I totally ran out of time. I barely got my first swallow of onion in before she said, "Well?" And I did at least have an empty mouth to match my empty head. But also, I had no lies. So I looked her dead in the face, opened my mouth, and waited, every bit as curious as her, to hear what excuse my mouth was going to come up with. "I'm pregnant," said my mouth. "Great job, mouth," said my brain. Onion," said my mouth. "Better you than me," said my wife. Then she went upstairs. It has been 2 hours she still refuses to kiss me. I am devastated. I am shook. I am crying a little, I think. But that might just be the onion. Okay, but now I have to know, what was the truth? Because it simply cannot be as obvious as, "What? I like onions." It can't, because that would not need a lie. I know people who eat onions like apples simply for pleasure. I don't understand them, but they say, "What? I like onions." And we both shrug, and they carry on. Also, was the plan to eat the whole thing? Just no more half-red onion? Because the alternative form of getting away with it was you were planning to put it back with a bite taken out of it before she came in, and that is, if anything, more unhinged. Okay, so I do this thing that I call tummy taco, where I put all the ingredients to a taco in front of me, but like separate. And then I take big bites of all of them, but just one at a time, like one big mouthful of taco chicken and then swallow, and then a separate big mouthful of chopped cabbage, and then swallow, and then a corn tortilla, and you get the idea. My wife considers it barbaric. She does not approve of tummy tacos. But yesterday I had this idea for stomach pico de gallo where I was going to eat an onion, and then a tomato, and then a jalapeno, and then some cilantro, thus achieving salsa internally. But I underestimated the call of the onion. I really could give a damn about everything else after the onion. I felt the love of Jesus in that onion, and thus I fell into folly. "Babs, were you going to just raw dog a jalapeno?" No, I was planning on just eating it. Picky eaters fear the eaty picker.